Hello everyone, this is Kikoto Mani from Team GetRec Robotics, as well as a member of Team WPI, and this is my event report for the NHRL March 2nd event. For this event, I would be entering my overhead flamethrower bot, K.I.W.F. It last competed in the September NHRL event of last year, but unfortunately I had issues getting the flamethrower to safety properly, and so I wasn't allowed to use it for that event, and K.I.W.F. had to fight as a normal control bot. However, this time I got that issue fixed, which would allow K.I.W.F. to successfully pass safety and be able to use its flamethrower once again. Overall, the bot is mostly the same as last time. The only real difference, aside from the color scheme change, is that I added a little bit of extra material to better protect the weapon arm from spinners. And I would be switching from the Fingertech foam wheels to casting my own flex foam wheels. I would also be making heavy improvements to the mini-bot. The new mini-bot would be wider, have an extra fork, and would have wheel guards this time. Also, I felt kinda bad that I never gave the old mini-bot a name. So, with the help of a good friend, I decided to name this new mini-bot Ember. Also, a reminder that NHRL offers a 1-pound bonus to multi-bots, and so K.I.W.F. and Ember will get to weigh a maximum of 4 pounds. I had to remove the third middle fork on K.I.W.F. to do it, but I was able to get the bots to be exactly within that weight limit. With all that out of the way, let's start talking about the fights. K.I.W.F.'s first match of the event would be in the qualifiers against IMPAKT, a very destructive egg beater built and driven by Lars Elliott. IMPAKT would also be running a mini-bot driven by the legendary Nate Franklin, one of the best wedge drivers in the sport. My main strategy for this fight would be to try and keep the forks pointed towards IMPAKT's weapon in an attempt to counter it. I would also have my mini-bot try to go after his mini-bot so I could focus exclusively on dealing with IMPAKT without having to worry about the mini-bot getting in my way. My biggest hope for winning this fight would be to try and see if I could melt IMPAKT's drive or weapon belts. Let's see if I can do that.
5.
Here we go, Luke.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Oh my god, he's up to full speed! Oh! Tommy Curl with fire in the air!
Oh! An eyeball has come up to kill it with fire.
It sounds like a bandsaw in there, and Kill It With Fire's arm is broken!
Oh, and the torch is gone! Oh!
That is a roofing. Kikoto, how much longer?
Kikoto's companion bot is under impact, high centering him though. So that's a pin. But
Wow.
Kill It With Fire, that looks like that fork is stuck into the plywood. Impact giving him a nudge, freeing him up.
Lars Elliott, one of the most aggressive drivers in combat robotics, and he hasn't even graduated from high school, Chris. Kill It With Fire dragging around that dead flamethrower head like some kind of disembodied eyeball.
Oh, that's graphic.
He's tapping his own eyeball, Chris. And that is a tap out. Speed and
Tap
brutality
out.
from Lars Elliott and IMPAKT. I love the little shrug from Kikoto, just like, what can you do?
He has more tape.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, we got a free lipo there in the center of the box.
Now, in the qualifying rounds, the rounds that we're seeing now, if you win 2 matches, you're into the main bracket.
And despite my best efforts, IMPAKT gets the victory. Usually my forks are able to deal vertical spinners pretty well, especially egg beaters, but IMPAKT just didn't seem to care. Before the fight, Lars actually showed me how his weapon is very low to the ground, and I believe what happened is that his beater was low enough to hit the very tips of my forks, which threw all the energy back into me. To make matters worse, he was able to break the lighter and then hit K.I.W.F. so hard that the battery came out of the bot. The battery was still plugged in, but it was actually high centering K.I.W.F., making it hard for me to move. My friend who was driving Ember was able to get a good pin on IMPAKT, but due to my mobility issues, I just couldn't capitalize. Eventually, IMPAKT got in one more good hit that unplugged the battery and killed the robot. That was definitely a tough loss, but fortunately, aside from the battery getting ripped out, most of the electronics were fine, so I just need to put in a new battery. The lighter was completely destroyed, but again, all you need to do is just replace it with one of the extra spare lighters I brought, and Kill with Fire will be good to go. Kill with Fire's second qualifying fight would be against another egg beater named RockFish, which featured a large and wide body. Assuming I could take the hits from the weapon, I was hopeful that I could get underneath and pin RockFish. Then I would be able to use the flamethrower to attack the vulnerable parts of the bot, such as his exposed belt and the top panel which had slots cut into it. The mini-bot, Ember, would also focus on trying to get underneath RockFish as well. This is Kill with Fire's last chance to show what it can do and avoid being eliminated. Let's see if it can do it.
Can do now.
Yeah.
It's like the classic, can I put a gun on my robot? Can I put an EMP on my robot? Can I...
Rubber weapon?
Yeah, rubber weapon.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that.
3, 2,
And he
1.
proved that you can't put a drill in a robot
Robots
and
fight.
get into the batteries.
And I'll see if you can kill it with fire in this fight.
I want to see some fire here from Kill It With Fire.
Ooh, I see some fire. Some very, very targeted fire that now
I
there we
do.
go.
Yeah, it looks like an Estes rocket or something here.
I thought that was a laser for a second.
Yeah.
It's so
What?
pointed.
What is the mechanism? I must know.
Chris was saying that he thinks it's like a creme brulee torch or something.
Ah.
Whoa, there we go!
Kokoto, he's done it.
Kokoto pinning his opponent and shooting the inside with fire.
We have flame. Oh. Okay.
Both robots are still functional.
Here we go, another good pin.
Kokoto.
Blasting the inside of the robot with fire. RockFish!
Yes!
RockFish being cooked alive!
That is one charred fish, Luke.
Another good pin from Kokoto Mane. Turning up the gas here on RockFish's weapon, and it's
Looks like they got a belt.
It's wheels.
Wow.
I see it on the ground.
There goes the belt. This precision fire is so interesting.
Kokoto Mane pushing his opponent up against the rail. Going weapon to weapon here.
Definitely really interesting. You see, usually a lot of flamethrowers have a billowing fire. This one is very direct, very pointed. Concentrated.
Wow, a great pin here. Yeah, what Ricky was telling me was the bluer the flame, the more efficiently and hotter it's burning.
Yep, that's right.
What about the greener the flame?
That's the cooler the flame is burning, yeah.
That's the more stuff we've shoved into it.
Wow, Kokoto Mane racking up multiple pins here, racking up damage as well. Oh, a great pin, high centering his opponent on top of his mini-bot, blasting the inside with fire. He's gotten inside of the robot. RockFish, no!
Wow! This is the fully realized Kill It With Fire.
You could not have a better matchup with these holes on the top of RockFish. Kill It With Fire able to get deep inside of that robot. It's disgusting!
But RockFish still continuing to perform. Look at that. The weapon still works.
He's
the drive
still going.
works.
As we go to the judges, if it's anything other than a win for Kill It With Fire, we're burning down the building, Lindsay.
I think he might burn down the building regardless. One tiny little hole at a time.
Wow, great job, Kokoto.
And just like that, Kill with Fire wins by cooking RockFish. Honestly, this fight couldn't have gone better. For starters, my friend did a great job driving the mini-bot and was able to get underneath RockFish multiple times, allowing Kill with Fire to get in some good attacks with the flamethrower. At one point, I was even able to apply enough heat to one of RockFish's drive belts and melt it off completely. I gotta say though, RockFish did an amazing job surviving for the full 3 minutes, and the team deserves a lot of respect for making a bot that just kept going. Regardless, I was very happy K.I.W.F was able to take advantage and bring the heat. K.I.W.F has always been an experimental bot, and so it was so satisfying to see it do exactly what it was designed to do. Eventually the fight goes to the judges, and K.I.W.F takes the victory. K.I.W.F was supposed to have a third qualifying fight against a bot named Iceblade, but unfortunately the bot was having serious issues and had the forfeit, meaning K.I.W.F would technically get a second win and qualify for the single elimination bracket at 2-1. K.I.W.F's first fight in the main bracket would be against Dimachaerus, sorry if I mispronounced the name, which appears to be a modified Peter Bar kit. The main bot was definitely a threat, but I was honestly more scared of the mini bot. For starters, the mini bot was Dulce de Luce, a very durable and well-designed ant weight that has been dominating recent 1-pound competitions. In addition to that, Nate Franklin would once again be the one driving it, and as mentioned before, Nate is one of the best people you could ever have as a mini bot driver. Just like before, the strategy would be to have my mini bot, Ember, try to deal with Dulce de Luce individually, so that I could focus all my attention on Dimachaerus. Speaking of Dimachaerus, the plan would be to aim the flamethrower directly at his weapon, since it featured a 3D printed hub and an exposed weapon belt that could be melted. If I could disable his weapon, I'd likely be able to win the fight. Let's see if K.I.W.F can get its second win in a row.
Something that gaffers use.
Yep,
Gaffers
on film
are-
sets, on TV
5,
sets.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
In the production world, it is considered, I guess, the superior tape, but duct tape is something everyone has access to.
Yep, you can see that flame is going. But this design of Kill It With Fire relies entirely on being able to get under its opponent. Oh, and there it is! There it is!
Nice.
He's going to hold that pin as long as he can and try... Oh,
I believe the
going
flame
out.
went out. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of spinning
It's
air.
a lot of spinning mass.
Drawing the fuel away from the fire, if you will.
And this is still a great pin. By any means, whether or not that flame is burning or not, this is incredible control. This is showing off your design intent. And to be able to do it against a robot like this, look at that, lifting, slamming down. I saw oh goodness. I see little sparks of fire, but I also see some dangling wires on the fire assembly on Kill It With Fire.
Yeah, not good.
I would be lying if I said I didn't want to see that lighter just get a little bit deeper into that spinning blade.
I also want to see that.
Listen, we put a lot of work into that cage. I want to see that thing explode, Kyle. I love that we're building on the lineage of just like a hot explosive thing coming out of Connecticut and building this as a hub. Who would have thought? Just the wonderful things that happen here, and it is, I love it. I would like to see that fire, though. I really wanted to take off. Kill It With Fire is really able to dominate this match with or without its flame attachment, which is really saying something. Kokoto has had a pretty solid day here for a robot that is really focused on experimentation and a robot that is trying to do interesting and new things. At a certain point, experience, even if it isn't intended to be competitive, is just experience is experience, and you can show off and really bring it to a match. You can see the smaller part of the multi-bot really doing its best to push Kill It With Fire around. And you are going to have a judge's decision. Everyone at home, we will be going to the judges. You can see Nate Franklin sitting there as a very happy driver. Kokoto and his team also looking relatively pleased. I think he would have liked to keep that fire going just a little longer. I think we all would have.
Now that was a tough fight. Probably one of the closest fights I've ever had. At first, everything was going according to plan. Ember went after Dulce de Luce, which briefly kept both mini-bots out of the fight, which allowed me to focus my attention on Dimachaerus. I get a good pin and bring down the flamethrower. Unfortunately, the arm gets too close to Dimachaerus' spinner, which is able to damage and disable the lighter for the rest of the fight. To make matters worse, Ember starts having drive trouble on one side, which means my mini-bot can no longer keep Dulce de Luce at bay, and Nate starts getting more involved with the fight. But even without the flamethrower, K.I.W.F can still act as a good control bot, and I just focus on trying to grab and control Dimachaerus as much as possible. With the help of the mini-bot, Dimachaerus does get some good hits on K.I.W.F, but the TPU armor absorbs the hits well and the bot doesn't take any real damage. Something that was problematic was when Dimachaerus managed to get K.I.W.F stuck on its face, but fortunately I was able to get an unstick from the house bot and keep the fight going. For some reason, just like with the mini-bot, K.I.W.F started to have drive troubles on one side. Luckily for me, at around the same time, Dimachaerus' weapon stopped spinning. In the last 30 seconds of the fight, I just try my best to remain as controlled and aggressive as possible to leave a good impression with the judges. Something worth noting is that we did a post-fight functionality test, and it would seem that Dimachaerus had died completely by the end of the fight. Also, as for the drive trouble on K.I.W.F and Ember, I'm honestly not sure what the issue was, since when I tested them in the pits afterwards, everything seemed to be fine, so my theory is that a piece of debris or something just got in the way of their motors. Regardless, I was very happy to learn that K.I.W.F managed to take judge decision and win the fight. This was a very close fight that honestly could have gone either way, and it's probably the hardest I've ever had to fight for a win. Congratulations to the Dimachaerus team for putting on such a good fight. Once again, I just needed to replace the light on K.I.W.F and to be ready for its next match. With that win, K.I.W.F moves on to the round of 32, the face-off against one of the best beetleweights in the world, Eruption, built and driven by my good friend Brian Boxall. If you saw my last event report for the January event of this year, you'll know that I picked Brian to drive the other half of the Power of Friendship due to his amazing driving skills. While we worked well together to make it far into that event, this time we'll be facing off against each other. Brian and I actually fought each other back in 2023 when the first ever version of K.I.W.F fought Mutation, a Peter Bar kit that was loaned to Brian to drive during the event. Brian mopped the floor with me then, and now that he would be using his actual bot, I knew it was going to be an even harder fight. However, K.I.W.F has improved so much since then, and I knew the bot would at least have a chance if I drove well enough. This will be K.I.W.F's most difficult challenge yet. Let's see if I can even the score with Brian.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
And here we go. Oh! Those forks doing some work with Kill It With Fire. Oh, Eruption. But Eruption gets around to the side.
Another big hit from Eruption. We have not seen that flame turn on from Kill It With Fire. They're gonna have to kill it with something else.
Sometimes you gotta click it a few times. If I've ever, if I've ever made a creme brulee, I know that those things are a little finicky.
Regardless, Kill It With Fire still doing a great job of not hitting the ceiling.
Oh,
massive
there
hit.
you go.
Oh, that's a battery.
Oh,
and a quick tap out. Well done, Eruption.
No. Tap out.
Kill It With Fireball, or Kill It With Flame, cast Fireball. It's very ineffective.
Kill It With Fireball sounds like another collab between Kokoto and Brian.
Well, I died, but at least I tried. I feel like I did a good job keeping my front point towards Eruption, using my force to control him. Once again, the lighter stopped working, and he got a good hit on one of my sides, but despite this, I kept focusing on being as aggressive as possible. At first, my forks do a good job keeping Eruption at bay, but unfortunately, one powerful hit actually managed to tear one of the forks out from the TPU mounts and rip it off completely, something no one else has been able to do before. With that fork gone, Eruption had more opportunities for attack, and one particularly violent hit rips out K.I.W.F's battery again, like what happened against IMPAKT. Maybe I should start zip tying my electronics down. Obviously with the battery gone, K.I.W.F is down for the count and Eruption wins the fight. Speaking of winning, Eruption would later go on to win the entire event, and so I don't feel that bad about losing to it, and I'm very happy for Brian and his success. With that loss, K.I.W.F Fire is out of the competition. Overall, I'm very happy with how it did. Its only losses were to top tier bots like IMPAKT and Eruption. It won a close back and forth fight with Dimachaerus, and best of all, it got the live up to its name and set the opponent on fire in its match against RockFish, which may go down as my absolute favorite fight I've had with K.I.W.F Fire. Like I've said before, that's exactly what I designed the bot to do, and so to be able to actually do it was just so validating. In terms of damage, K.I.W.F Fire held up decently well. Aside from the battery getting ripped out twice, all the electronics were fine. For the most part, TPU armor held up great to even the hardest hits, so that was nice. The lighter broke in 3 of my 4 fights, but that's to be expected since I kept putting it in the path of spinning weapons. I was also very happy with how Ember did, and it's definitely the most effective mini-bot I've ever made, being able to get underneath the opponent multiple times and not taking any real damage whatsoever. So shout out to my friend who did a great job driving that mini-bot. And that's it for my event report for the March 2nd NHRL event. I'm very proud how K.I.W.F Fire did, and I fully intend on bringing it back whenever I can. As always, thank you to everyone for all the love and support, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.